Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be really helpful for those that might be new to the game or you're just wondering which players to pick up, because I'm going to be going through every single position, showing you 3 or 4 that you want to be bringing into your starting 11. They're going to be ranging from like cheap to expensive. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Leave a like, and if you are needing game codes or anything game related, head over to g2.com, use the code FUJI on that site to get a discount on every single order, and let's go and see which players you need to pick up. Right boys, so starting off with the goalkeepers, I have 3 really nice options for you. The first one is going to be the most overpowered non-rare keeper on the game, Areola. You would have seen us use him for over 200 games on the RTG, and the one thing that he's so good at, reaction saves inside the box. So when your opponent's on a quick 1-2, this guy just seems to get onto it like consistently. On the edge of the box, if your opponent's going to take one of those finesses, most keepers are the same, they struggle with that just because of the short choice. It's overpowered, but this guy is going to serve you well. Really tall and just very much overpowered. Then you've got Edison, and you've got a little bit more quality, like his reaction saves, his handling is a little bit better, and he's actually like a similar player to Areola. Like long shots are a bit of an issue, but then when he's like inside the box, he gets his legs to it, he gets his hands to most of the shots that are taken from close range. So I really like that. And then with Courtois, he's just like the best of everything, you know, like the guy can save long shots inside the box. In my opinion, he is the best goalkeeper on the game. De Gea, close second. You've got Neuer that's pretty difficult to get past, Lloris as well, but from what I've used and from what I've seen, Courtois takes the #1 spot. So in that right back position, we do have a little competition. The first one I want to share with you is Cancelo, and when he was released as an informed team of the week 1, that was the first version that I used, and I thought it was awesome. Super reliable with his pace, height, 4-star skills, tackling ability. I later sold him on, brought in the non-informed version, and I couldn't really tell much of a difference between the 2 cards, so that's a good thing. You're saving a ton of coins, and at the time he was about 10k, and you were getting your coin like value with the way he played in game. So Cancelo, really do like him. And for a non-inform, and if you go to the Serie A for a starter league, building teams, there are tons of overpowered players, one of them being Cancelo. The next one, Monet, is a little bit different. He isn't your typical fullback with a load of pace, but what this guy provides is an attack-minded fullback. So he's going to push on with his high work rates. When he's inside your opponent's box or he's attacking corners, he is powerful. Like if it rebounds to him, he's good with his feet to score goals and very good in the air because he's tall. And then his awareness and positioning defensively is awesome. Like he's actually really good. Believe it or not, with the lack of pace, he's awesome. So he has obviously a non-inform and an informed card. You've got Kyle Walker, who is arguably the best right back on the game, but it's a little bit boring and he's expensive, but he is very good. I've used him, but you know what he's going to offer, just pace, a bit of height. He's just very good. But Lala is different. Inform Lala 84. He gets onto pretty much everything. Another player that you wouldn't really think that he would have like good awareness to the game just because he looks like one of those cheap cards with a bit of pace. Nah, he's actually really strong going into tackles and consistent. And that's the key word with Lala, he's consistent. And then you got Juan Fran, who I'd say he's my favorite right back on the game. I didn't think that I would fall in love with the guy, and I didn't think that I'd be using him right now in my mega team. But his pace, like his acceleration, doesn't really affect the card. His sprint speed makes up for it. His positioning is so good, and I think that's why I don't notice his pace as much. Tackling, aggression, height, everything, literally everything with that card. The throwback Juan Fran is awesome. In the center back position, I wanted to give you a little bit more variety so you can pick and choose whichever players you like the look of. And if you are wanting a super cheap center back, Juan Jesus, you know, in the Serie A, you can link him up to Cancelo, Allen. I've got a few more players to show you, but this guy is just pacey, good tackles, and he will get the job done. Nathan Ake, that I was impressed with a couple of weeks ago, I brought him onto the RTG, and if you are wanting to follow that series, it gets posted every other day on the channel if you are new. It's a road to glory. We don't spend any FIFA points, and we just build our way up and finish with the best possible side at the end of the year. But with Nathan Ake, he seems really well rounded. The way he was playing for me, he doesn't have the height like normal center backs, but he does get the job done. Then you look at these two, and this is the meta, most effective tactic available. Kimpembe, he's got pace, high work rates, which isn't really ideal, but he's still going to drop back. He can get tackles in and feels really nice going in for tackles. Likewise with Sanchez, just very similar. They're strong, good tackles, and that's what you want. Then with a few more coins, you've got Hernandez, inform Lucas Hernandez. So much pace, and if you're someone that relies on that as your defensive style to like pull players out of position, you're going to get on with, well, actually all three. I've noticed most of these players have pace, and that's because I defend like that and I need it. Skriniar though, a little bit slower, but the way he reads the game is like no other. The guy has 92 marking for a non-inform. Like, that's mental. For an 85 rated player with really good interception, stand tackle and all that, he is super overpowered. And if you want to be bringing like Juan Jesus into the team, who isn't like the best centre back to go for, but he gets the job done, alongside Skriniar, who actually is super reliable, that's not a bad partnership. Rafael Varane, very expensive, but arguably the best centre back on the game, like the best non-informed centre back that you can go for. Like, it's stupid. I've tried icons and this guy is better than some of them. I don't understand why. Well, actually I do. 84 pace. Then you look at Van Dijk, and I did really enjoy him at the start, and that's why I wanted to include him in the lineup, because I know a lot of people love him, and I did. But as I'm dropping in Rafael Varane, Hernandez, these guys are suiting me a little bit better, but he's still very good. And then the two icons, I love Nesta, and he's slow, but another player that could read the game very well, and I didn't notice the lack of pace because of that. Just very reliable, strong tackles, aggressive, could attack the ball as well in the air. And Maldini, without question, is the best centre back on the game. Doesn't even come close. This guy is phenomenal. For the left back position, I hope that you enjoy some of these options. We have Russillian, and that's what I want to do, show you some really cheap ones that you can go for, and if you've got a better budget, you can bring in a little more quality. But this guy, at first, I was getting frustrated with him because it was on the RTG. I was trying to find a reliable left back, and I gave him a lot of stick at first, but then I realized, hang on a minute, he was putting in a shift. He was getting tackles. He was scoring goals every now and then. He's a good player. For his price especially, like literally discard. You've got someone to really help you get up and running. Robertson from Liverpool. Mixed opinions in the community. Some people like him. Some people actually hate the guy. For me and my style, he worked really well. I thought he was a lot better on the ball than it suggested. His tackles, like tracking back and using his like physical stats to get in front of the man, he just felt overpowered, and that's one of the reasons why I used him for such a long time. And then if you are on a better budget, you bring in Jordi Alba. This guy actually is fantastic. The way he gets interceptions in, his recovery speed is just stupidly hard to get past because the game already has that natural catch up and it favors defenders. When you've got someone like Jordi Alba with 93 pace, it's game over really. Not many people are going to be getting down that left hand side. And then on top of that, going forward, he's super quick as well. Just a very good playmaker. He can score goals. He's just awesome and I love him. Then you have Alexandro, who is probably the best left back on the game for me. He has a bit of pace, he's got the height, the strength, the aggression, dribbling even, and I would recommend going for the inform. Like, there aren't really too many stat differences, but I've used the non-inform and I've used the inform. Maybe it was just the time of day that I was playing and the gameplay had like played its part, but I swear to you, this inform Sandro gets in better tackles than a non-inform. It might just be in my head, but I think for his price, 250 is expensive, but my good god, he steps up and he's a game changer for me. So I want to show you guys some of my favorite right wingers on the game. I know that I haven't included Bale and a couple of other players, but these are the ones that I'd be most comfortable using in the weekend league. And the first is Lucas. I've unlocked him on both accounts, and I know that he doesn't get as many goals as I would like to. Like, he's a little bit inconsistent in that respect, but what he offers, pace, agility, dribbling, playmaking, and he is very good at what he does. So I love him because of that, and he was an awesome unlock for 20,000 coins at the start of the game. If you have joined a little bit later, you won't be able to get him, but non-inform, I think it'd be quite good, but not as good for sure. You've got Mbappe, who is just the best. Like, the guy is so versatile. Striker, right winger, right forward, right mid, the pace, the finishing that is just broken on the card, it seems to favor him with every single shot. Left foot, right foot, header, skills, weak foot, you name it, the guy is just literally the best player to go for. Salah is awesome though if you're looking for a bit more like agility, dribbling, and that's your style to cut inside and finesse it. He offers a little bit more with that. but then Mbappe makes up for it with just how physical he is. He's the better player. But Salah is really nice on the ball. And then you have George Best that I don't use as a winger. I have him as my middle cam. Well, I did have, but now I've got Cruyff. I loved his finesse shots. I thought that his pace running in behind was good enough, like his acceleration. For the price, like 2 mil that I spent, it was a lot, but he felt really good, like creating space. Like he was always on the move, trying to position himself so I could hold possession. And it's a good player. I love Best, big fan of him, but those are the 4 that I'd recommend. So for that next position, I want to go over some of the CDMs that I've used. And the first one is Lerma. Only recently picked him up because of a recommendation, and for his price and how good he is, bring him in. Like you can get a really nice triple link if you're starting out. Lerma, Nathan Ake, and Van Aanholt in the left back position. Another pretty good card, but I wasn't to include him in the lineup. Actually, I was using him and I finished 25 wins in the weekend league. So Van Aanholt, he wasn't bad, you know, not like super reliable, but good heading and all that, good jumping. But Lerma is just someone to hold it down. He brings a little bit of pace, good aggression, nice jumping. Very good CDM. Then you've got Allen, who is the most overpowered centre mid / CDM on the game for his price. No one comes close. I've used a ton of players. You can play him as a CDM or a centre mid. In front of goal, weirdly enough, he's got a very good shot. His stand tackle, interceptions, aggression, pace, it just suits the way I want to defend, and I love him for that. Kante with a few more coins is just like a better version of an Allen, but sometimes I play with Kante and I look back at Allen and I think, is there really much of a difference between the 2 cards? Seriously, like you're having to spend 300,000 on the Kante and you can legitimately pick Allen up for 1,000 coins. So I don't think it's worth actually purchasing Kante when you got this guy who is that good. Gattuso though is going to provide you good aggression, obviously, nice tackling, awareness to the game. So the AI position him and you don't really notice the lack of pace, but I wouldn't recommend using him as a CDM in a 4-2-3-1. He needs to be played as a lone CDM because he isn't that quick to track around the pitch. But then again, if you're playing like a 2 CDM formation and you've sat everybody back, that's what I was doing before and it did work. But if you're a bit more aggressive, play him just as the middle CDM, because on the ball, he isn't very good to hold possession, but he is awesome at tackling. Makelele, he offers a bit more if you're wanting to play a 4-2-3-1. Good on the ball, fantastic pace, composure, tackling, heading. Even though he's small, he can win the ball in the air because he has like 84 jumping. Really like Makelele. And just to finish off that partnership, Patrick Vieira. Best CDM, always will be the best CDM, just his height, everything, so well-rounded, incredible, man. These 2 together, it's very difficult for my opponents to get past. And then Fabinho, I was stuck in the reserves because one weekend league, he didn't turn up for me. The ball kept rebounding off his foot, his head, his ear, everything but a control. And it put me off the guy, but he actually is pretty good. So I had to include him in the lineup, otherwise people would get mad. He's good, but I don't use him anymore. So taking a look at that central attacking midfielder, and I want to stress to you, right in the middle, central. I don't want to play these guys as a left attacking mid or right attacking mid. They are best suited right bang in the middle. And I could have included like Dybala and stuff, Isco, but I haven't even used them yet. So this video is going to be like part 1, and then part 2 is going to be released later on in the FIFA cycle. So De Bruyne as your cam or even a centre mid, like he plays very well in like a 4-1-2-1-2 up and down the pitch as a left centre mid or a right centre mid. But as a cam, his finishing is so broken. He has a thunderbolt shot. And he's awesome. Like, he provides everything that you would really want from a cam. He's got the weak foot. He has the finishing outside the box, inside the box, a bit of pace, physicality, vision. De Bruyne is one of the best cams on the game. Then you have Dele Alli, top 10 long shot. The guy did not stop scoring for me in that RTG run, and we finished 25 wins, which is still a little bit ridiculous that I was using someone like Dele Alli, but with what he offers, like, he can get tackles in half the pitch. His interception stat is surprisingly good for a cam, and that's what he was offering, something different. He changed up the dynamic of the side, his passing, the vision, the long shots, the finishing. He's actually really good for his price. So test him out. If you don't like him and he doesn't suit your style, fair enough, but at least give him a go. And then you have more of the agile type cams, and Mario Götze that I've only recently picked up, but really like the feel of him. His finishing outside the box seems to be pretty overpowered if you're using the time finesses, because they add shot power, and his finishing is 86 anyway. I like Götze, and I want to be using him a little bit more. May even unlock him on the RTG, seriously, and have like a Bundesliga theme Road to Glory run in the next couple of weeks. But Royce as well, kind of wish I did him on this account. He was awesome, man. Outside the box, he was finishing pretty much everything. On the ball, he felt good. Some people didn't like him, but I disagree. I think he was a really good unlock, but not for his price, like 300,000, 400,000. It's too much to be locking in right now. Whereas like a Götze that you can unlock for 80k, that's a little bit more reasonable, you know. But those are my 4 favorite cams. So taking a look at some of my favorite wingers on the game, and they all seem to be coming from the left wing position. So then I have to play Hazard off cam, Neymar, Ronaldinho, whoever really. But looking at a cheap option for you, we've got Coman with his pace. Like finishing, if you make sure to use the time finesse shots, you'll get a little bit more consistency from him. But the dribbling agility, the skills, he's very, very fun to use. Then Quincy Promes is the cheap Neymar on the game. So if you've got a few coins left over, make sure you've got him either on the bench to be brought on as an impact sub or in your starting 11. He is that good, trust me. His finishing is stupidly overpowered. Eden Hazard, where's he gone? Not sure. It's so difficult for me to say, do I prefer Neymar? Do I prefer Hazard? Now Ronaldinho, we've added him into our starting 11, and one thing that Ronaldinho offers is crazy acceleration, really good strength that makes it incredibly difficult for my opponents to defend against him, because even if they get a tackle, he's going to bounce off, use his physical stats. His dribbling and agility is just... he is probably the best out of all of them, but for 3 million coins, do you really get like your money's worth? Kinda, he's a luxury player. Neymar, he's got the 5-star weak foot, but then Hazard has the better close control, and like the way he pops and accelerates, like they're all just top tier, man. That's the best. I don't know who's better, Neymar or Hazard. It's just, I can't be bothered to keep going on. I don't know. And that's as simple as that. I don't have the answer. They both do incredible things in game, and I love them. And to finish off the best of the best starting 11 for me, you probably thought that I forgot about one man, Johan Cruyff. I did. I actually forgot about him because I've been using him so much. It didn't even cross my mind that I needed to put him in a cam position, but it's all good. We make mistakes. Cruyff doesn't. He's that good in game. Like, he is the best cam that I've used on the game. No one really comes close to the 5-star, just how good he is for me. Pele as well actually deserves a shout, but he's also a cam. It was amazing, but these players are like so expensive. I don't even think you guys have got the coins and really care for these icons. But Cruyff is my favorite cam. Then you look at the striker position and CR7. When I brought him into the main account team, we finished 29-1 in the weekend league. So he did something for my side that was his aerial threat and just being overpowered. Ronaldo, I don't really want to use him because of the way he feels on the ball, but he offers so much more when it comes to finishing and aerial threat. Suarez is a different striker. He isn't a typical player that I would go for because he's lacking pace, but my good god, that inform that we packed on the road to glory, his shot is just an aimbot, doesn't want to miss, and he's a game changer if you're playing to his strengths. Then you've got Aubameyang that's just a sweat freak, and he's going to get in behind and just be a nuisance for your opponents, and I really enjoyed him because of that. I've been using him mainly in the draft though, so take that for what it is. Werner, annoying to play against. I've used him a couple of times and he feels good and he has a nice shot, but Werner against me is just stupid. He finishes everything. Even Jamie Vardy, you know what, right? Jamie Vardy deserves a little mention right now. Players that are annoying against me. Yeah, Jamie Vardy. Who else do we have? Like Harry Kane, Lukaku, these players, I hate using myself, but they just cause me so many problems. Mertens though, my favorite striker cam on the game, really. Like, he's just broken. And if you don't know about Mertens, bring him into your starting 11. You're not going to regret it. So how I'd finish off the team is probably something like this. So that is literally like the best of the best that I would go for so far on the game. And if you want to see a part 2, make sure to smash the big thumbs up on the video and I will get that out for you, no problem. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this video has helped you out and I will see you on the next one. Team out. Peace.